Hello, Derived Energy. This is a response video to Pyrrho's response video to Cartoon Karma.
I don't think there is an argument that you shouldn't. I'm arguing against you because you think there's an argument that you shouldn't. You see, and I'm saying there isn't an argument that you should and there isn't an argument that you shouldn't. Okay, those arguments of should and shouldn't don't apply until you already do exist. And once you already do exist, it's pretty damn clear you're going to try to make it as good as possible.
Yeah, try to make it as good as possible, but you need to do that because you're having life imposed on you without your consent. And some people are able to make life a satisfactory or pleasing experience from their perspective, and other people aren't.
Okay. And what you call our addiction to things, the things that we want to live for, even things bad for us in some sense. So if not existing is not a bad, I don't see what could be bad. Oh, the suffering. Well, yeah, there's things you can do about that stuff.
There are things you can do about that stuff. I mean, maybe there is, but you can't just circumnavigate all the problems that life throws at you. As some people are better at dealing with problems in their lives than others, and you've got no way of predicting what resources people will be able to develop in their lives in order to deal with their problems in life.
But the question only arises once you do exist, and so then you're going to try to make it better.
Yeah, but it's a question that doesn't need to be posed. If you don't bring someone into existence, then they don't need to face this dilemma of life.
Suffering helps you try to make it better in that you know what's bad, right?
Yeah, you can learn from pain that things are bad for you and they should be avoided, but there's no need to avoid anything if you don't exist.
But you invite me to join the human race because I say the humans can't ask if they should or shouldn't exist until they do exist, and they do exist, so they need to just make it positive.
Yeah, they need to make it positive because the parents have imposed their life on them, so that they're in a situation where they need to make it positive. They haven't got a choice. If they don't try to make it positive, then they're just going to suffer incredibly.
Or ask it as existing people. You want to say, no, let's ask the questions if we're not existing. All of these logic tricks, and then you invite me to join the human race. When you're the one with the philosophy that reeks of the logic of eugenics.
Well, I mean, eugenics is a very emotive word. I'm not promoting the idea that people should just be completely culled out of existence. I'm promoting the idea that the notion that procreation is morally problematic should be promoted and be made an easily accessible meme in society. Instead of this false consciousness that is perpetuated by society and media that procreation is never problematic.
And I'm supposed to join the human race. Look, you're a fanatic. You say nobody should exist in the first place.
Okay, well again, fanatic, it's a very emotive term, I mean, you're attaching a value judgment when you use that word to the stance that an anti-natalist takes. But there's no need for that. I mean, it might seem to you an extreme position that in an ideal state of affairs there wouldn't be anybody here to be debating these issues, but this is informed by a reasoned, rational theory that's been proposed by David Benatar, and with the asymmetry and everything. So if there are good sound reasons for following the aims of a theory that has internal validity, then it's logical to follow it to its fullest implications. And if that's extreme, I mean, extreme is a negative word, it's just following things through to their natural conclusion.
I would argue against somebody that said everybody should exist, every sperm should be made into a person. I would argue just as strongly against them, because that would also be a fanatic. To me, you and this other hypothetical person are very similar. You're both fanatics. And the fact that you're on opposite ends of the spectrums hardly matters compared to the fact that you're fanatic.
I mean, do you have extreme attitudes towards murder, Pyrrho? I mean, many people do. They say outright that murder should not be allowed. You know, I mean, would you describe them as being a fanatic? Would you express the idea that they have extreme views towards murder?
And, you know, you have a fanatical view. So you joined the human race eons ago. I joined the human race eons ago. We were created out of the human race. And, you know, you're the one pointing out we don't have a choice but to join it, and you're telling me to join it as if I had a choice. So, you know, you guys need to straighten up your logical abilities and your reading. You were one of the people that thought I was saying that you're not your 11-year-old self. You missed the title, the whole point of the video. And
I think you're the one who has to need string up your logical ideas and arguments, because you've admitted yourself that, at least under certain circumstances, it would be rational to end your existence if you're suffering incredible pain, or if you're being tortured. You know, you admitted that you could conceive of situations where it would be rational, and you would in fact commit suicide under extreme duress. All I'm asking you to do is to return the favour and explain to me how someone who never comes into existence can be deprived of pleasant mental experiences that they would have experienced if they had been born. You know, or explain to me how it's rational to see existence as bestowing an advantage over non-existence, when, if you consider the alternative scenario in which you didn't exist, then you'd see clearly that, you know, you wouldn't have been worse off because you wouldn't have existed.
You're supposed to sit here and read insults. I don't